What's up everybody, thanks for checking out the channel. On today's video I'm going to show you how to change, right there, an old motion detector light. This one's broken, it's seen better days, and I'm pretty sure it just wasn't working. It was old, and I'm changing it with this new LED fixture. So I got this one on Amazon. It's about, I think it was about 50 bucks. So it was a fair price. There it is there. And yeah, I'm gonna walk you through it. So let's get into it. And as always, don't forget to smash that thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel. It really helps things out. Let's get into it. First things first, make sure you turn off the power, either by the breaker or the light switch, preferably the breaker. So let's take off this old one. So sometimes you look at this thing and there's no visible screws, but I've actually got a rubber cover right here. So if you pop that off, there you go, just this little guy here. There's a screw in there. So we're going to use my favorite home screwdriver, old Pinky here, and pop this thing out. So this one isn't even put in with a proper, well, it's not to today's code anyway. This is using a rectangular electrical box. Today's code, you'd usually have octagons in here, the round ones. So it doesn't really change much for the installation, but you just disconnect this guy and let's pull these wires down. Black, white, and this really short ground wire. Okay. So I like to disconnect the black one first. Make sure it doesn't hit your soffit, this stuff here. Disconnect the white wire and put them right back on, and the ground wire. So now we're all disconnected. Let's see what's in the box here. So let's crack this open. Alright, so this is what this guy looks like here. In the upside down position, mine's going to look something like this, and you can flip it the other way to be mounted on a wall. So you've got this gasket here, and this thing is gonna go right here. So it's gonna make a bit of a thermal or a seal between the plastic and, in my case, the soffit. So let's pop this guy up. This is basically all we really need is this piece here. This piece gets screwed into the octagon box, or in my case, in the rectangular box. This goes on after the fact and holds the fixture up, and it goes through this hole right here, this hole right here. So first, let's put this guy up. Ignore all this. That's on my next to-do list. I replaced my patio door. Might be in a future video if there's enough requests for it. So my ground wire has seen a bit of corrosion over time. So I'm just going to use like a sharp knife or something to just clean off some of the copper, so I'm exposing the metal again, so it does have a little bit of contact with the housing of the light. And it's hard to tell, but I don't have much of a ground wire here. So I've shaved off some of the copper so it's exposed, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another piece of copper, which I cut a piece from an electrical wire. Just this thing's about 3-4 inches long. I'm just looking to extend what's already there. I'm going to take a pair of pliers and I'm going to just take these two pieces of wire and twist them together. And there you go. So you don't have to marret that connection because it's a ground wire. If you were doing this with the white or the black, then you would have to marret it. So now we're going to put our plate on. So I'll put this guy up. And you're going to want to take that ground wire that we just extended, and you're going to want to screw it on to this piece here. This screw. There we go. Wrap it around and drive that baby home. Next, you're going to want to grab that funky gasket, and you're going to want to put that on. Make sure it's nice and square. I mean, some of these are round, so it wouldn't matter then, but nice and straight. And finally, we can put our fixture up. So first, we're going to put our ground wire on, and the wires come with the ends on them like this. So before you pop the end off, give it a twist, and it'll just make the wire come as one piece, and then you won't have any of the little pieces of wire sticking out. So I'll twist this guy on and give it a nice little tug to see if it's hooked up and working. That one's good. And then we'll do the white next. And I find this a little bit long, so I'm actually going to cut a little piece off. It's too long. Just a regular pair of scissors will work. And the optimal length is about 1/2 inch. That's where they want you to be. I'll put them right on this guy. And again, give it a little tug, make sure it's hooked up nice and tight. And last but not least, the black wire. And like this is probably, it's almost 1 inch long. So we're going to take a bit off this guy too. And we'll hook them up. And the black wire is the live wire. So if you didn't turn off your circuit, you'll find out when you hook up to this one. All right, so we'll make sure we'll put our wires nice, and we'll tuck them in up in here. Put some of the length up inside the electrical box. There we go. Up in there, up in there. And then get that mosquito that's biting me. Now this one's tricky. Just gotta line up the hole. There we go. Perfect. Then we'll get Mr. Phillips, the American screwdriver. And let's not get into that one. And we'll screw that little nut in. So we got a nice bite there. Make sure all our wires are hidden. Tuck that away. With a nice little twist. There we go. And that's a bizarre gasket. It doesn't really cover that well, but anyway, it's okay, I guess. Screw this guy in all the way. I got a wire that I can see here, so I'll make sure he's tucked away. There we go. All right. And I want my motion detector pointed this way. That's perfect. All right. Screw that nice and snug. And we're pretty much done. So you'll notice there's some settings. All motion detectors have these settings, okay? And you've got the time, 120 seconds, 60 seconds, 30 seconds, and test. And then you got sensitivity, low, medium, high. So I'm going to set mine to high for now, but we'll leave it on test. So it's just going to turn on automatically. So usually this thing won't turn on until night. If you put this on, if you move it to here, to 30 seconds, when the motion, this is the motion detector, when it sees, or when it detects motion, it'll turn on the lights for 30 seconds. And low, medium, high really just specifies at what distance this thing is going to trigger. So let's turn it on and see if this thing works. All right, so it's on. Perfect. And we'll set it to low, because I don't really want to, I'm not really too worried about it. And we'll set it to 60 seconds, 60 milliseconds. Anyway, I'm going to point it to where I want, and this thing will shine the sky, light the sky up. So anyway, this is a motion detector light in the soffit. And as usual, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out the channel. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next one.